Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to Ruhoni Sewing. Today we are going to draft a sleeve basic pattern using cup height measurement. As usual, these are the materials needed. We have our straight ruler, curved ruler, scissors, pencil and rubber, tape measure, and our long straight ruler, as well as our pattern paper. So one thing I want to make it clear, I've drawn a line here because my pattern is not, as you can see, it is not uniform here at the end. But also, I have already drawn this center line. Make sure your line, you have left enough space, which is more than half of your biceps. And also the length from the start. Always we are having a line to start with. The length of this line is 3 more inches than the length of your sleeve. Okay, as usual, this is our point of start, and that is our point A. Now measure from A going downwards the length of your sleeve. Put a mark and label that point as B. And then take your ruler and draw a line perpendicular to line AB. After that, measure from A cup height measurement. Then with the aid of your square ruler, sorry I forgot to show you when I was showing you the materials needed in this tutorial, draw a perpendicular line from this line here, just like this. And this is going to be your biceps line. Label the line at the center as point C. Then measure the distance from point C to point B. This is where we are looking for our elbow line. Then find half of that distance and put a mark. Then from this mark upwards, measure 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. And then with the aid of your square ruler, draw a line perpendicular to the vertical line at the center. And this is your elbow line. And label this point here as D. Then on to biceps measurements. From point C, measure on either side of point C half of the biceps measurements and put a mark. Here is point E and this side is point F. Now for the wrist measurement, take this biceps measurement minus 2. And so here we are measuring 4¼ inches on either side of point B. So which alphabet after F? This is point G and this is point H. Now connect F and H and E and G. And also connect point E to A and A to F. So before we continue, we are going to measure the arm sleeve for our front bodies as well as our back bodies. You are going to use your tape measure and you are going to measure along this curve, the arm side. Make sure that your tape measure is on the standing position like this. And you are going to measure all around your arm side, and you do the same for the back bodies. For our front, we have 8½ inches or 21.6 centimeters, and for our back we have 8 7/8 inches or 22.6 centimeters. We are going to add 22.6, that was for our back, plus 21.6 for our front equals to 44.2. We are going to plus 1 centimeter, we are getting 45.2. And then we are going to divide this by 2, that is 22.6, and that is our distance from A to E. So our distance from A to E is 22.1 from the original straight line. But what we have measured, the calculation we've just done, it is 22.6. So we need to move our E a little bit further, because we are going to measure from A to E 22.6, and we put E1. I hope you can see I've put E1 here, and this was supposed to be now our line, to draw a line from A to E. Okay, so the rule is if E and E1 they are on different position, then you are going to draw your E in between these 2 points. This is E and this is E1. So we are going to put our point in between these 2 points. And also on the other side, you can see we have a new F, a new position for F, okay? Which is 0.3 centimeter from the original point. Again, I'm showing you for our point E, it is here at the center. So we draw the line AE and also E to G. And also do the same on this side of your sleeve. We are going to measure from our E point to C. Okay? We are measuring, here we are getting, it is 16.2, 4.1. We put a mark, okay? And we are going to do the same on this side, 4.1. And we put a mark, okay? So this will be our K and this is our L. Again, at the top here from A, we are measuring the same distance as here and here. So on this side we measure 4.1 going this side and going that side too. So we will measure on the back side as well as on the front side and label these points as M and N. So this is your back and this is your front side. So we are going to start on our back from point K. You measure going up 2.5 and you are going to measure from point M going down 1.5 centimeters. So on the back, these measurements are a bit more compared to the front because the back arm side is not as curved as front. Then draw a straight line joining these 2 points. And then we are going to connect these 2 points by drawing a straight line. Next, we are going to find half of this line. I hope this line is not confusing you. We are using this line here. Now measure this line and find half of it. It is 14 centimeters, half of it is 7. Let us label point O, P, and Q. On the front, here we are measuring 1.5 from L going up, and from N coming down, it's 1 centimeter. Again, to remind you, when you compare these measurements to the back measurements, these are small. And it is because the front arm side is a bit curved. Again, repeat the processes as we did on our back by joining these 2 points. Draw a line and then find the center of this line. Label, this is as point R, S, and this is your T. Before drawing our curve at point T, measure 0.3 centimeters going out. Okay. So this is where your T, let me rub a bit. This was our point T. So this is our T1. It is slightly outside this line. Now we are going to connect the points on the back as well as front to make up our sleeve cup. So here you can use your curved ruler or you can draw it freely by hand. but with a curved ruler it's really easy, so I advise you to invest on one. So this curved ruler that I'm using now is different from the one that I was used to, so be aware that even these curved rulers are different. Now let us make our elbow. This is our dart. This is our elbow line. We are measuring from I. Remember, we are going to measure from this second line up to D. That is 14, and then half of it we are going to get, that will be 7. We are going to put our point here, and we are going to label this point here as U. And then from I, from this second line, we are going to measure 0.7 centimeters. And we are going to label this point here as V. Then take your ruler and draw a line from our point E here to V. Now from V, measure 2.5 going down, or 1 inch. This is our point W. Then connect U to W by drawing a straight line. One thing to be sure, make sure that VU and UW are of equal distance. So first measure U to V, then measure the same distance from U to W. Change the position of W when necessary. Now let us move to the wrist. Now from point G, measure 1.5 centimeters, put a mark and label it as X. And then measure from V to G and note down the distance. So now we are going to draw a line from W through X, which is the same distance as from V to G. So first draw a line from W to X but extend through X. And now measure from W the same distance as V to G and put a mark. Label that point as Y. Then before you continue, measure from point G to H and note down the distance. So we are measuring G to H, which is 21.6. We need to draw a line which is the same distance as G to H from Y. So what we are going to do first, because we need to touch this line of the wrist, you have first to measure from Y. Measure 21.6. Okay? 21.6, it is here. Because if we draw the line first, it might be somewhere away from the line. Okay? And now connect the 2 points and label the last point as Z. Connect with a straight line, J and Z. Now here at J, we are going in by half a centimeter. You move your J in by half a centimeter, and then you connect your J to your Z. And then connect J and F. So lastly, as you can see, I've put the notches. From T, I've measured 2 centimeters. So this is our front, I've put our notch. And also for our back, from Q, I measured 2.5 centimeters. We have our first notch, and the second notch is 0.5 centimeters from the first. Okay, my dear viewers, our sleeve pattern is ready. We have drawn this pattern using cup height, sleeve length, and biceps measurements, and it also have the elbow dart. I hope you are going to try because it is easy and simple to draft. I want to thank you so very much for watching up to this point, and see you on my next video.